The bee is a creature of the sun. The queen bee mates in flight on a fine summer's day, and all her daughters gather their strength and energy from the sunshine, and all the flowers turn their heads to milk the glorious light and heat from that same sun's golden rays, and the bees harvest the fragrant sweat of that upturned beauty. They fill their beehive cells with golden honey and pollen and store their harvest that they may once more drift into hibernation in the end of autumn until winter's solstice, when their year begins again. They are a connection between heaven and earth.
As soon as you are here and you are surrounded by bees, that is magic. Everybody should have that experience.
All right, here we go. Hello, ladies. How are we today? For me, it was at first a overcoming of the cold chill of fear, and then the aggressive flying into you, and then the very heavy, high-pitched screech. That gave me a moment of enlightenment. Like, aha, wow. I think we just happen to have our most aggressive colonies here, which is fine because it's nice out in the middle of nature, but
there's something nice about this constant bee buzz. As long as they're friendly, it's lovely.
Yeah, as long as it's not too high-pitched, it's great. Oh, what's this? Another queen cell.
The complex organization that happens inside the hives and also outside, actually. The bees take all kinds of decisions as a group. It's amazing.
How a single individual bee that's bashing itself against your window pane is by definition quite a stupid creature. An entire hive with its hive mind can make very complex decisions.
A bee never sleeps. I think an average bee lives for 6 weeks. And they work day and night, they don't sleep. It takes 9 bees to fill their whole life, 6 weeks, to fill 1 small spoon of honey. That tiny amount of food. If they won't be there anymore, the whole thing's falling apart. I'm sure they will.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So these cells are now completely filled with honey. Now these girls did real good.
You know, of course, the bee is a very important pollinator. That being true, there's also many other insects that are pollinating flowers. The honeybee is just very proficient at it.
These creatures keep working day in, day out. When we go to sleep and call it a day, they are still going at it. Amazing. Look at that. Full with eggs, full with larvae, full with honey. Yes, I like to introduce myself. I'm the nicest and most dangerous person you'll ever know. Because if I don't damage you, my bees will.
Oh, wow. How I ending up on the Beara Peninsula. That was my husband. I didn't do anything. And I was married with him. He came to Ireland in 1969, something like that. Visited first, fell in love. We visited together as honeymoon in 1974. We both fell in love.
We just came to the Beara because we love it. It's beautiful, the environment is clean, people have time to be human. So, all good things.
I was brought here to Ireland and also very fond of the idea myself. I had no idea I was going to end up anything remotely associated with beekeeping at the age of 8 or 9. It was basically woke up one day and Dad announced, from now on we're going to start beekeeping. Next week my first hives are going to arrive. Wait, what? So that was okay. That was a surprise. There, Daddy. Yeah, you're helping me. You're offering me moral support. Great, thanks, I need it.
I've always been interested in bees. So even when we lived in Holland, I was interested in it. I went to a beekeeper's course, but it was kind of too floaty for me and too slow. So I left after 3 sessions. So I actually learned it, in practice here.
Now basically I do nothing in beekeeping. The boys do the bees. The boys do the honey. The only thing what I do is I care. I care for the food. I feed my boys and I feed my bees.
Well, initially I started off alone, of course. Leah got stung. She didn't like that too much. And later on she developed a hypersensitivity against bee stings, so that wasn't too nice.
Jouke had bees, I think 2 years, I had not any problem. And at a certain moment I got stung by a bee. It was inside my hand and it grows and grows and grows and it was like I had a ball in my hand. This goes too far, right? It's my garden. They are guests and they won. They were everywhere, and so Jouke decided for me to go and have the hives in 3 different spots on the Beara. So we still have our own bees here, but they are more like hospitalized bees, right? Small colonies without a queen, a colony suffering. You see them? Those hives there, they need extra care. And you just give them as much as possible variation of food close by, that they don't get lost. Because the longer they need to fly, the less they can eat. So that's why I have all the problem hives are around here. And they have all possible food what they can get. Especially June is very bad for bees because the blackberry is still not yet in flower. And the gorse and the hawthorn are gone, which are the biggest food sources. And sycamore, which are brilliant amount of food. And they are all gone, so there's nothing.
So here on the Beara Peninsula we have had this phenomena of a June gap that may not occur in the Provence in France. The June gap is actually the non-availability of food source for the bees. So they don't have enough flowers and therefore no food comes into the hive. In the beginning we had colonies die on us because we didn't adequately react to that. What you need to do then, if you detect it and you're aware, you need then to feed them in the midsummer with sugar syrup, which is what we would do.
Bees are nowadays associated as a symbol with the delicate balance of nature. They are dependent on us to survive. That wasn't the case 1,000 years ago, but it is now. And there's no point in reminiscing about the great glorious past, because now is what's happening.
We have about 15 hives times, I would say, on average, 50,000 bees, so you do the math.
First we kept the Irish black bee, very good gatherer and plethora of other positive things, but the biggest negative aspect of it was his highly aggressive mindset.
The Irish bee is an aggressive bastard. That's the main thing. So if you like to be a beekeeper and you like to be stung a lot, take the Irish bee, no problem. But we don't like that, so we decided to go for the buckfast bee.
The buckfast bee is essentially a hybrid of two character traits. Prolific egg layer in the queen, not very aggressive, and also very good at gathering honey and pollen for their nest.
It has been selected by Brother Adam, a monk in the Buckfast Abbey in Devon. And Brother Adam came to England as a 13-year-old boy, sent by his mother to be a monk. Imagine that.
He first started off as a stonemason's apprentice, but it was quickly decided that he was better off with to help the resident beekeeper. I suppose I'd be very thankful to that man that he gave me a bee species that doesn't sting me so bad. So here we have wax tablets. The preparation for the coming season takes place during the winter. Winter time is when we assemble any additional equipment like new stands, new brood boxes, new frames of both super and brood frames.
Okay, the duty is calling.
And of course, the maintenance of other equipment that we have as well. Make sure that our suits are ready for use, that we have gloves, that we have the right amount of tools. For us, that means, are we ready for the season?
Okay, so hive tools and brush.
This is a hive tool, which is basically a combination between a scraper and a crowbar. Our logbook is made up of water-resistant paper. That's how we keep track of all the going-ons per hive. Then, of course, that also filters onto preparation of sites. Are sites level? Are they accessible? How are the individual hives looking in respect to each other? Is this a strong hive? Is this a weak hive? Have they lost their queen? Do they need to make a new queen?
Well, it's a game with nature. You have to understand, find out, evaluate.
Stop! Beekeeping is a numbers game. I consider it like an algebra, a balancing act of all these different things we have to keep in consideration. And that's how we start the year. And that's how we keep going until the day of the harvest.
Day one, the first inspection of the year. Right now we just want to see if they're alive and if they have a queen. That's the main thing.
When we do our beekeeping, we do active swarm controls. We do weekly inspections from April to the beginning of August.
We inspect them every week, and we inspect each hive and each frame in the hive.
So I haven't seen any swarming signs yet, so that's good.
Why do we do that? Because we want to prevent swarming. If they swarm, half of the bees disappear with the old queen. They're going to do something somewhere else. As a beekeeper, you don't really want swarming because you want a maximum number of bees in the hive to produce honey for you. And you can see the signs of swarming during an inspection. You would see queen cells being built or having been built. Queen cells are vertical cells, while the normal cells are kind of horizontal. If you see queen cells, you can take certain measures to prevent that they are going to swarm in the first place.
Queen cell. And there's another one here as well. Right, interesting. If they're doing more than one, that means they're swarming eventually. Well, so this one and that one, both of them. However, there's something worthy of note, because a queen cell will be placed like here on the outer edges of where the nest would be. And second, they have this distinctive peanut-like texture to them. And this one actually happens to have that. So I'm basically removing the queen cells I don't like the look of. Flatten them, we destroy them. And hopefully that will delay them going for a swarm. No luck on spotting the queen just yet. That's ideally who I'm looking for. Because it's nice to see Her Majesty, you know?
So you have typically 3 different types of bees in a hive. You have the queen, you have the worker bees, and you have the drones, the males. The drones is very simple. Their only zeal in life is to mate with a queen, if they can. The workers, as the name implies, work a lot. All kinds of tasks in the hive, like cleaning cells, feeding larvae, etc., etc. The queen is actually a worker bee, but she has been fed with queen jelly, royal jelly, in a slightly bigger cell. So she is bigger, longer, and she lays a lot of eggs. And she could lay, 1,500 eggs a day during 4 years or something like that. She then also can decide whether she will lay a worker bee or a drone by switching off the sperm inside her little body. So if she fertilizes an egg with sperm, then it becomes a worker bee. If she switches it off, then she'll make a drone. It's amazing. We're a good team because I can never find a queen in a colony. And Jouke Anna cannot really see eggs in cells.
I'm great at spotting the queen. I am hopeless at seeing where the fucking eggs are. So yeah, that's how we complement one another. So queens are usually, not always, found in the center of the hive. And in colder air temperature like now, when we do this, they tend to cluster to keep themselves warm. And they tend to cover the queen up when they do that, so.
That makes finding the queen more difficult.
I am quite certain that the queen is not on this. Move, girls. Found her.
Okay. You're good, man, you're good.
I'm just the fucking king of this. And there she is. The beauty. This one's marked. The mark stays on for forever. It's basically glued on, right on the top of their back. So she's probably looking around for a place to, a good place to put her next egg in. There is a misconception that queens don't sting. That's true, they don't sting us, but that doesn't mean that they don't use the stinger. Yeah. They actually use the stinger to position the egg into the cell.
Okay, folks, that's it for today. Close up. We won't pester them anymore. Ja, draai eens. No. It'll do for now.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Then you leave him and then come on to me.
Yeah. Or onto him.
My skill, or gift almost, I think gift is a better word, of being able to spot the queen so quickly compared to my dad. My dad could be looking at the same frame for hours and still not find her, even though she's over there, she's on it. And I spot her within, if she's on the frame, tend to spot her within 3 minutes. My record is 10 seconds. He has a better hairline than I do. It's completely not me. The other one I've learned, and this is basically a skill set that comes from both martial arts as well as my gaming obsession, is being able to spot the odd one out. Like the spotting the queen, for instance, regardless whether she's marked. But yeah, it's observing, spotting the odd one out. And that's a skill that's like looking for that small little detail. And that's something I've picked up from karate and from computer gaming, essentially, because in computer game screen, for instance, you're looking for that small little detail. Where is that little hidden item? Where is that particular sword or something like that? And then in karate, in the bee venom that I absorb and redirect into my punches. Honey for extra energy. It helps me with ignoring kids that are making too much noise. They're like, all I hear is bees. I just, okay, now I'm going to listen to my bee song, and then I don't hear anything else anymore. So yeah. All right. Better close the gates so the bees won't escape.
Flavia, kom. Flavia, kom. Kom maar mee.
I love flowers. I love always flowers. I love the color. I love the smell. I wish I could design. That's my love here. But you know, you in the Netherlands, you could organize nature. Everything is organized in the Netherlands. Here you can't. If I said, okay, I want you to be here because you color so nicely with that, then that one decided to see it and go there, and there goes something else. So it's not possible. If you garden here, you need to, they win. They always win. So now my garden is more like, oh, you're happy here? Good boy, you know, that's the way, yeah. What is my garden? My garden is a combination of try to design, it doesn't work out. And what survives? So I do like wildflowers, right, yeah. They need to listen to me. Yeah. You see, these are all plants, like this is a New Zealand flax. An extreme amount of nectar in these ones. And you know, New Zealand honey is, I think, called manuka, and from Australia, have a lot of those. So they have a lot of food available. Like that blue one, that is called an echium, and that comes from Madeira. And that is another great example for bees. They just start getting open. So there you see a couple of them. It's a bit far away, but you see about 4 or 5 bees in these. But this gives us much honey. And the variation of plants, that's the most important thing for honey, that you have 10 different millions different plants. The variation of the enzymes in your honey makes it very, very healthy, because medication is based on plants. So bees collect them for us. Look, here is the foot. So it is very deep. You see? So these are the pollen, the yellow ones. Digitalis is the name, used in medication for heart failure. So another very important plant. And everyone says, yeah, it's poisonous. Yes, some plants are poison, but your medication is poisonous. Yes, I adopted the garden to bees. Before it was only for beauty. I think it's still beautiful, but different. Rewilding, it is also sad to see how the farmers cut away all the trees, make hedges with metal poles, which is so hard to see. It's far cheaper to make a fence with gorse. If you combine Sally with gorse, all natural here, grows easy. A cow or a sheep won't go through it. I think it's the knowledge. People don't know it. They don't know what they have, I think. At least not around here, they don't know it. But it is unbelievable the amount of wildflowers we have. And we don't need to do anything. We should just leave them go, leave them flower. And that's the best thing you can do for the bee. Nothing extra. If you teach young children, keep the gorse, and the child come home and the father is killing the gorse, and you're killing food from the bees. Now then they won't do it anymore. But if I tell it, they don't listen. But children need to tell them that. I think that's one of the most important things, education about what is important to change habits. They burn the most important part of good soil, and that's mulch. That is the structure. That's what they burn. And they are kept with a dead soil. And since they burn the roots, you get an enormous amount of erosion. Huh? It's all going down to the ocean, which is nothing to do with bees, but burning is a big impact on the environment and on the quality of the soil, especially here on the Peninsula, which is made of 95% of rock. So the little bit of soil you should be careful with. You know, there's not a lot of wild areas, like the Beara is beautiful wild, but if the farmers on Beara burn all what good is for the bees, you're nowhere. It's very sad for me, especially as gardener. Yeah. Yeah, what more can I say?
What is he doing?
Well, fix me gloves.
In my usual way, I said, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, of course you would. Completely
oblivious to
everything else in life.
Yeah.
Thinking that the world revolves around you.
Happy beekeeper, you know.
Shall I do it or shall you do it?
Grey woolen socks, sandals, and a slow mind.
A hippie beekeeper is a term we use to describe beekeepers who do minimal amount of intervention in a bee colony.
Yeah, that's a term that's used by certain individuals to describe an idealistic beekeeper with one hive.
My experience with the hippie beekeepers is they do it in order to be a hippie, to give back to nature, minimal to no support, and then hopefully you might get a bit of honey at the end of it. So even if we as a beekeeper take an active role in they're still functioning as they would in the wild, except they have a bit of help from us. They get food if the weather turns bad. A wild bee colony won't have that. We keep the varroa mite under control. A wild colony, if the infestation gets too bad, will have its days numbered, effectively. Not saying that there's anything right or wrong with either approach. However, I would argue that if you are a beekeeper, you should take responsibility, you should take an active role. The state of the natural world is nowadays is that the bees do need human intervention to survive. We must never forget that bees are in no level whatsoever domesticated. We can't call them, we can name them individually, but can you tell one or two apart? I sure as hell can't. And they won't listen anyway, so.
Yeah, I think the hippie beekeeper doesn't really intervene because he thinks that's against nature. Okay, fine.
What will happen if you don't intervene?
Well, it's like roulette. It could go well, but it could die on you. You don't know, because you don't know.
The Lord take it, and the Lord give it.
Yeah. He usually give it more than he take it. But you could be in dire shit when he reverses that.
Even net bekeken, hè? Dus is het brutal.
Zullen we er nog een...
It's such a buzz working for bees. There we go. Bees put down propolis. This propolis is gathered from trees. It's basically tree sap. So this is then this is like a very fine sticky stuff, and then they use it to fill up little air gaps. So here you can see how they have a whole line. So that's clearly the areas where they don't want an air current to go through. Don't worry about me taking this off. It's they're very quick in repairing it, because many legs make light work, etc. It's just like then they would gather it from trees like that, conifers and amongst others, also favorite one. And then they seal it off again. It's basically bees' answer to natural silicon. Oh, yeah. Well, that's clearly the end product of several million years of evolution. They, of course, want to make honey. And how do you make honey? Is, like I said, evaporation of the excess water from nectar and adding in bee enzymes. Yeah. So, it's good to keep a record, so we know what's what in the hive and such. So this is actually a book of waterproof paper, and then I also take note of their disposition. So I say calm and no.
Jou kan, hè?
Q.
Jou kan, hè?
Yeah.
Eens kijken.
Oh, my expertise has been called upon. Oh, they don't look good.
Yeah.
Oh, this lot is hungry.
Eh? Hungry?
Yeah. And look.
Listen.
Look at the bottom.
Yeah.
They're all dead. Okay, we'll need to empty out the bottom so they can fly off and get honey, and we'll need to give this lot of feed. Yeah, they completely ran out of honey, and they've been like this for a while. Come on, girls, show me your queen if you have one. And also their wings look fine as well, so
Yeah.
we can rule out that disease. Yeah, they're starving. That's the problem. Okay. Well, I think it would be a good idea that they immediately go and get them food.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go get a feeder and food. Well, then you have to move fast. Get in my car right the fuck now. Every minute counts now. So this particular hive basically ran out of food. What can happen, has clearly happened, they ran out of food. They can't get new ones because they're not strong enough to move the dead out of the way of the entrance. So they basically seal themselves in. So this is why we need to move as fast as possible, because we don't know how long they have left. There. How am I doing there?
Yeah, you're going on the left.
No, fucking stay. Fucking tourist. This is an emergency class 1. Oh fucking hell, move out the goddamn bloody way, will you? Jesus Christ. I can't really speak for the emotions of the bees themselves, but I imagine that particular hive going, I'm hungry, I'm very hungry, I'm so hungry that I'm weak. Which is what means. Because as the Marine drilling sergeants like to remind their recruits, remember, if you feel pain, you know you are not dead. Like, okay, very reassuring. All right, then here we are. Be quick and stay out of the way. As it happened on that day, there was a colony had run out of food and they were starving. So me and you, we scrambled back home to get a feeder, to get sugar water, syrup for them. Oh, for fuck's sake! Only to find our exit blocked by a delivery van with a bloody refrigerator, dishwasher. Hello, gentlemen, how are you? Yeah.
Too late, it's not heavy.
Yeah.
You just leave it over there.
Hang on, it needs to go inside. Like, of all the things that thing needs to arrive, it's now. The dishwasher is there. So yeah, of course, full beekeeping suit, and these people delivering the household item in question were like, what the hell did we just drop this thing into? It's like, yeah, hi, we're beekeeper. I'm beekeeping, that explains the suit.
Bees.
Yeah.
How many?
Individually, no idea, but we have about 14 hives.
14.
Yeah.
And is there a queen for each hive?
Yeah.
There's 14 queens.
Yeah.
Yes, we have queen though.
Like while I was there bouncing away mentally, and then all of a sudden I got delayed by the refrigerator again. It's a dishwasher. All right, let's get ready, Owen. Because of our lovely present-day society, companies want to make profits. So rather than making spare parts available, they just fucking allow the machine to die. And our course of action, therefore, is to get a new one. And in turn, what they'll do with the old one is put in the broken, missing spare part, clean it up, repackage the fucker, and sell it again. I didn't learn this from beekeeping though, but you know. Alright. And then it's like, where were we? Oh yeah, go back out there and feed the colony in question. It's Francis. Oh, great. Ja.
Hoe gaat ie?
Gaat goed, we zijn net voorbij Aries.
Oh, oké. Nou, wij staan even te wachten hier, jongen.
Wat zeg je?
Even buiten, we staan hier even buiten de Apiary.
Oké, mooi zo. Heb je de andere inspecties gedaan? Fucker hung up on me. Come on, move, come on, yip yip. There you go, that's them past. Come on, you can do it, come on. Yeah. There we go. See? You must believe in yourself! And also drive not in the middle of the fucking road. If a colony were to completely die on me, I would feel responsible that I failed them, that I failed this collection of small little creatures, even though they sting me. So technically I shouldn't owe them any loyalty, but you know.
Let's just give them some food.
There you go.
So.
Right. National ecological disaster averted, hopefully.
Yeah. Right.
We're all done here then?
Yeah.
As Darth Vader would say, you failed me for the last time, Admiral. Bees, purely from an evolutionary point of view, they have approximately 5 to 6 million years evolution ahead of us humans. We're barely scraping 1 million years, and look what we're achieving. 2 world wars. That's not that compared to what bees can do. Is not a good achievement in any level whatsoever. We humans have a insatiable penchant for violence. We've also utilized bees in warfare, which happens to be one of my favorite history subjects, of course. And I'm going to launch into a little history lesson here for you. Bees are associated with human symbolism for hundreds to thousands of years. At one point in history, they were associated with the Virgin Mary because the monks at the time thought that there was no such thing as intercourse amongst bees. So she was a virgin queen and lays eggs, and whoa. Yeah, well, they figured that out before long. That was a bit, not a bit of our religious symbolism down the drain. Yes, that's right.
Holy Saint Goblet, goddess of the bees, Goblet Neafa, Bandia na Bachari. We attune to your vibration in prayer and in scale, landing in resonance on the flutter of industrious wings, finding ecstasy in the liquid gold your healing mill as eons of beehives turn to bronze helmets and the Bacha buzz like soldiers at your will. Graciously, Goblet, oh let loose your bees, set in flight your drones hum on our exploits of greed.
Saint Goblet, the Irish patron saint of bees and beekeepers. Saint Goblet was a Irish lady landowner type figure. The line will get blurred depending on the source and where you read it from. Then is that she was either a Tuatha De Danann or a abbess or something like that. The reason why she's closely affiliated with bees and beekeeping is that during her time, the lovely activity of raiding your neighbour's lands for farmland and cattle was prevalent in her day. And the legend is that she had a special breed of bees, of guard bees, that she would then unleash on the invaders of her land. So picture they come into your backyard and like, oh, what are you doing here? And they're like, girls, off you go, sting them.
Idir cúsnog, gus plúsnog, pecan is sahanin. May the yellow-black dancers all thrive and be free. All the love of their labour comed fit for Queen's blessings. I humbly plead for your sweet intercession. Gomani diagwich a gobanit neafa, Gomani muagwich is Gomani infendich. Is kutsa hana garan mishkela, is a geri malaish der sundairt.
Di Gwini Ushla, August Fodger over Stock. Hello again, friends and neighbours, welcome. It's a new day, Sunday morning, and the weatherman says we can expect it to be an overcast and warm day today. That weather pouring in there over the southern peninsulas, including my own, Oituchas, Beara, a beautiful sight to behold. Anyway, whatever about the weatherman, another man, a wise man, once said that time flies like an arrow, but fruit flies like a banana. I say less of a wise man and more of a wise guy, but time does fly. Lunasa is nigh, which means summer's coming to an end, and I guess it's harvest time, particularly in ancient times. The Irish would gather for the harvest, have a great day and a fantastic mehel, that coming together, that cooperative effort when friends and neighbours gather and help each other out with the harvest.
Today is a big day in what we're doing?
No, don't wanna.
Man,
They'll figure it.
Figure it out.
if you haven't figured that out yet, then there's no hope.
It's like, oh God, man. Are you feeling okay, Owen? So feel free to leave that in if you like. Oh, you will, okay. Today is the harvest day. We select usually our day is the 1st of August, but 1st of August is weather-wise is looking very bad, and it's going to look bad for quite a while. The end result is if you were to leave it for too long, then they will actually start eating the honey, and they do it at a rapid rate as well. Learned that the hard way once.
They have no income in terms of honey, and then they start eating the stores.
Yeah.
And because there's lots of them, they do that rapidly indeed. Yeah. A very important thing with harvesting honey is that they don't like it. Obviously, you're stealing their winter stores. So, you know, they would be more agitated, noisy, and with more in the air. Poor bees.
Poor bees.
We steal their honey.
Steal their honey, hard work. Carrying heavy boxes.
And the Lord said, let there be smoke.
You know, for someone who's staunchly anti-religious and belief, you do preach the name of the Lord quite often.
Yeah. He's always in the background.
Now, check the old man, that the suit is good. Yeah. Boom.
Thank you.
Cameraman, yeah, that's you. Come here, you. Oh, look at this. Well done. Well done. Oh, no. Gap. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
He's going to be eaten by the bees.
Yeah. Go on, close your fucker. There we go. All right, here we go. Oh, dear. It's all quiet. Very little flight. They're all going to be at home now, all the bees, because the weather is not that great for them. And we're gonna invade them.
Is deze leeg? Jou kan of niet?
Nee, die heeft gewoon geen super. Dat is degene die zichzelf helemaal opgebouwd heeft.
Kijk, je had hier moeten maaien, hè, want het is allemaal niks.
Ja, ik weet het.
During the course of the year, we don't really smoke when we do the inspections because they're docile enough for us to do what we want. When we do smoke them, then, as an exception, they react very well to that. The thing with smoking is that they think there's a fire, and there's a, fear for their survival.
Fire, smoke, and fire is considered one of the forces of nature that the bees have no defense against whatsoever.
Go down, ladies.
That will trigger an alarm pheromone within all the bees, which is basically like the equivalent of our fire alarm. You don't think of the dessert of what you had last night. You think fire alarm, fire, I need to get the hell out. That's what you're thinking. It's the same with bees. So what the colony does then is they will start to prepare for an emergency departure.
So they're going to gorge up with honey, and that makes them very mellow again.
If we have a 3-course meal, we're going to be stuffed to the brim. They're not going to start running around anymore. So, and it's the same with bees. The fuller their tail is, the harder it is for them to curl it around for them to sting.
We smoke them and then we steal their honey. There's a bit of excitement, but not too much. Enjoy the last smoke, ladies. Get down, you worker bees. Work harder for us.
The smoke is basically a quick blast, and then the smoke goes away, and then they realize, oh, well, no fire anymore. We can relax.
I just saw a pot of honey in a supermarket somewhere, and it said EU and non-EU honey. But what, why should you mix them? But another thing is that they mix it with sugar. And the EU regulations say that honey should at least contain 60% honey. What's this? What's the other 40% then? They play their game. And the game is cheat and increase margins. That's the simple translation. Honey is stuff that you get from the bees, and that's it. It's not more complex than that. Yeah, strange things happen in this world, I tell you. Okay, I think we're done.
As a general consensus, I'm not convinced that the average Joe will know how much work actually goes into beekeeping. Fuck's sake. Girls, feck off, yeah, we're done.
Beekeeping is laborious over the time, so it's good to be with two and help each other and have some fun.
It really is a young man's game as well. On a harvest day, I'm the happy, lucky Parker that gets to transport the bees from the apiary into the trailer. I don't see my dad doing that. I know he's strong, but still. Ja, dat is goed, pa, dat is goed. Nee, ja, stop maar. Fuck me.
Okay, the magic.
It's amazing how thousands of tiny little insects can create and make this only for us to do this to them. We humans are so horrible.
You want the honey to end up in jars, so you know, and it's still in frames and in cells. So you need to get it out. Most of the cells will be sealed off with wax. So you want to remove the wax, and then you put these frames in a spinner, and they rotate at speed and the centrifugal forces extract the honey onto the sides of the spinner, and it drops down. So we just cold spin it. When we finish spinning and the tank is full with honey, we let that settle for 12 hours at least.
How do I like my honey? Shaken.
And the Lord said, let there be honey.
So it hit the side, sliding down the bottom.
Nice smell, huh?
Yeah. Remarkable how fast it actually is as well.
In bigger operations in beekeepers, they sometimes heat the honey as such because they need to pump it. But of course that has all kinds of detrimental effects on the enzymes that, like Leah explained.
Never heat up honey because you kill your enzymes above 37 degrees. And heat extraction is done a lot because it works faster, easier, as when the way we do it. That's why you have an extreme big range in honey, right? You have honey which are cheap for 4 euro. It's nice for in your tea, I don't mind. Every time when we sell 1 jar of honey, said, you're not allowed to put it in your tea. You can use a very cheap honey for that, but not this one.
Who needs drugs when you can have that? One bee weighs at 0.1 of a gram. She carries half her weight in nectar with her to the colony, so 0.5 gram. So that means for 1 kilogram of honey, which is two of these bottles together, bees will need to make 50,000 trips or 40,000 km, which is a trip around the world. Well, if nothing else, it will hopefully make people realize as to how much work and effort that goes into this product and how it should be respected and not squandered, but appreciated for what it is. And also, by extension, that they should be more conscious of the well state of the natural environment as well.
In this year, this horrible amount of heat waves, that is hard to see how the continent suffers from climate change. But we are kind of the country in Europe which are best off. What can I say? It's hard, but it's true.
You know, many people have emotional ideas about climate change. But from my perspective as a beekeeper, like I said before, bring it on, because the weather is going to be better in the summer. We have more bees, they're more productive, we have more honey. What else do you want?
I say the biggest threat to bees and nature in general is human malpractice. Human pollution, human mismanagement of nature, beekeepers themselves. Because when we open up a hive and close it, did you know how many bees we kill with one of those episodes? So yeah, lots. Nature is capable of fixing itself. We had 2 years of lockdown. Within 6 months, there was more fish in the sea already, more wild animals. Both air, land and water-based started to reappear because we were stuck in our homes. So even from that perspective, why not bring on another lockdown just to allow nature to recover for 10 years? Well, yeah, you can't really do that, can we? So yeah, if we don't learn from that, then yeah, we might as well deserve to go extinct. But that's my 2 inches of salt.
Vin cronan mormach vien ins na scoiv fevla and la dahian nor yalrian on grian chnokas vre is gairen and down fi vorhiv atay.
Look at that, this lot is completely recovered. You remember that day where I told we need to feed them right the fuck now? I'm quoting myself here. That was this colony. Now look at them. They're practically spilling out because there's that many of them. Not to blow smoke up my own orifices, but I'm glad I handled that real quick at the time. Very proud of them. Very happy with them.
I was 18 when I came to town. They call it the summer of love. Burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the dove. I took a job at the steaming way down on Caltram Street, and I fell in love with the laundry girl working next to me. Brown hair zigzagged around her face, a look of half surprise, like a fox caught in the headlights. There was animal in her eyes. She said to me, can't you see, I'm not the factory kind, and if you don't take me out of here, I lose me mind. Oh, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, so long as there's no price on love will stay. You wouldn't want me any other way.